had a quick follow-up question, Lee, because human beings are notoriously bad at being able to predict long-term impact. And so, just to get a quick sense of the timescale, so for the relationship that you had mentioned, how long have you had a relationship with that person? Is it multiple years? Just to get a sense of from first mentoring that person to then, like, I guess to now, how long has that timescale been?
That is, I would say, 14 years ago. Actually,
14
15 years
years.
ago, he became one of my team member and quickly established as a superstar. I think 1 or 2 years in, he started to think about the next step. And ever since then, we kept in touch. And in fact, he's in China, I'm in US, but we, once in a year. Sometimes it's literally once in a year phone call, but that's okay. We know the other side will be there when you need help.
14 years. See, I think most people, my bet is that most people, like, I guess I'll speak in terms of me. I have a horrible time imagining what would my life be like 14 years from now, and how will the thing that I'm doing now, like, make a big impact. So I think I guess my follow-up question is, how do you remind yourself of the long-term impact that happens from the investing in people now? Is there like something that you think about, or is it that you've just built this habit and relationship and pattern that, for me as an engineering leader, what I value is mentoring, and so that's going to be a consistent part of my practice? Is there something that you do to help uh, pull that 14-year impact forward for you to help generate different actions?
So part of it, because it's kind of a positive reinforcement. When you have a success story like this, and you really feel good, and I really want to help others to be that position. But a part of it, it's actually naturally happened. Like, of course, 14 years old, before my teams had like a 20 or 30 people. Like most of people, I don't have a connection anymore. And not that they are bad, it just happened to be we don't have the opportunity to connect that closely, right? So, and I'll give you another example. I Bill start become a manager in 2003. So by now it's 18 years old and 18 years. And when he was my manager, he direct managed more than 100 people, 100.
Hmm.
And of course, he's
Wow.
a saint. Like, I cannot do that. But I don't know how many people continue to have a connection again because he's a saint. He probably still connecting with a lot of people, but it is naturally selection process because I feel I have a need. I was lucky to have him continue to mentor him, and like long after he left Google, I left Google. And the same story with the person I mentored, like a long time after he left Google, I left Google. And but it's like just phases, and you naturally people will stay in connect, and naturally some people may not stay in connect. But if say 5 years later someone will reach out to say, Lee, if you remember, like, can I ask you a question, I will still do it, because I think it takes a lot of I would say actually courage for people to ask for help. Because when I think about, as I said, I'm very cautious. I don't want to waste other people's time. So if I reach out to someone, it takes me courage to say, can I ask you a question, right? Can I ask for a favor? And I feel the same thing with other people. So whenever people reach out to me, and I feel like, oh, okay, this person already, gathered all the energy and asked me, so I will reply. I pretty much reply everything.
I found the same thing, that more often than not, if I muster up the courage and the strength to ask somebody for help, more often than not, I'm met with either a yes, or I would love to talk. And so I definitely want to plus one the generosity and goodwill of people I found reflects that they're more than willing to help if you ask.